Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. How you doing today? Michael Zuber back with Stephen Dow from Velocity Mortgage. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. And yourself?
I'm doing very well. Do me a favor, get that marketing thing out of the way.
Please. Yes. Again, although I work for a great company, Velocity Mortgage Capital, all the ideas and topics discussed on this channel are that of my own. And let's please to get it started.
There you go. One of the things I want to do in this video is we've been talking now, I think, for almost 8 weeks, maybe 10 weeks. We've had a couple of breaks. I took a vacation last week, for example. You moved, for example. But basically 10 weeks we've been talking. So I want to just ask you, what are you hearing, seeing? What kind of deal structures are one rental at a time subscribers or students bringing to you? Because again,
Sure.
I think NQM fills a void in the market. And, my hope is that you're helping my students and followers.
Agreed. We're very flexible in the sense of depending upon what your student or subscriber is looking to invest in, whether it's a 1 to 4 unit, residential or multifamily, we're able to do both. But the type of deals that I'm seeing, combination of anywhere from beginner, investor looking for their first fixer, and then kind of helping them structure the scenario as far as the initial acquisition, as well as transitioning into the stabilizing, takeout loan.
Yep.
So advising them correctly accordingly as far as, taking the conventional route first.
Yeah.
And then if you've exhausted that, then we can transition to something like mine. But that, in addition to portfolio loans, has been kind of a hot topic.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Right. So let's just go one by one. I want to play these back. So again, you're having new investors reach out to you, which I would expect, right? Hey, we're talking about on this channel for a reason. You are being, a good person, because if you weren't, we wouldn't be doing this. You're saying, hey, you can get a bank loan, call a bank, right? Or you need a HELOC, go talk to a bank, things like that.
Right.
So that's cool. Second, you are filling a need in the market. I think probably one of the most common questions I get from somebody is who can do a blanket or a portfolio loan, right? I'm buying in Ohio or Michigan or other market. Who can do a portfolio loan? So again, that's something that you offer.
100%. Not only with the portfolio loans, but then as well as the seasoned investor, because they've either hit the limitations for conventional financing, or they found where I think we had talked about this briefly. They've been chasing term or yield in the sense of the lowest possible rate.
Yeah.
But that's usually where they dangle that carrot in front of you and you chase rate. But then what's the cost to get to that rate? And what kind of hoops did you have to jump through to get that rate? And do you actually make it to the finish line with that rate?
Yeah.
That's where you don't really know those figures. Where, I'm not going to be everything to everybody, but our pull-through ratio is one of the best in the industry. So
yeah, that's another thing I want to talk about. There's a lot of rate chasing today. I mean, that's how they market, right? 1.99, 2.25, blah, 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 blah. And again, if you're a W-2 employee, high income, high net worth, great credit, go get that bank money all you can.
All day long.
Not everyone. And also it's based on the asset you're buying. The asset may not qualify. The loan may be too small. It may be this, it may be that. The quality may not be right. As housing slows down, we're going to get bigger discounts for junk. Those don't qualify for bank loans. Bank loans are they have this thing called desktop underwriter, right?
Correct.
It's basically a buy box where there's one missing variable. You're out
of there. Yeah.
So the thing I think that's interesting that you hit that I want to hit again is, especially when you're doing 30-year money, right? It does a 3% versus 5% on a rental. Just run the numbers, right? Don't chase rate, chase ease of doing business, chase pipeline. What I've heard from people that get back to me after talking to you is they've enjoyed the conversation and they now see a plan where they can do multiple deals kind of in a row, right? Where you're the answer. Where if you're going to work with a bank, maybe the bank does this loan, but they don't want to do the next loan, or there's just all of that. So
it's come with a good strategy given the circumstances, the property type they're looking to invest in, and things of that nature. So it makes sense to have somebody like us as maybe plan B or additional partner. I've also found with one of your particular subscribers, he's been in the business for a while. He's a seasoned investor, but what he's found is obviously when it comes down to the finance part, you really want to make sure that they can execute, because if they can't make it to the finish line or you jump through all these hoops, you're just wasting time and sometimes lose the deal.
Yeah.
So he's really loved the fact that we're so flexible in so many different areas. He can just be a one-stop shop instead of having to go to 6 or 7 different lenders that may not be able to all execute. So again, going back to the building the relationship part, he understands that. So that's been great too.
That's very cool. And again, you also can make exceptions, right? I heard from one of my followers that you helped with a foreign national, which maybe not have been able to get bank money.
Correct. In addition to that, there was a little bit of a hiccup on the credit score, which we did get to resolve. Even with that kind of hiccup, everything stayed exactly the same. So in the end, the borrower got the exact same rate as promised from beginning to end. Even though things went a little sideways, the flexibility of a non-QM lender, and again with my position, I was able to still make the deal with them.
Yeah, and again, there's also the ability, you're creating new products, right? This 30-year fixed rate product where you can get up to 10 years is just, it's crazy to me, frankly.
It is. Imagine that on an apartment building right now, multifamily, where you have a 30-year fixed rate, but the flexibility of falling back on an interest-only payment if you need to, because with new variants coming out, more eviction moratoriums being extended, what are you gonna do, right? So in the end, now you have a stable loan. You don't got to refinance again when things get better from out of your bridge loan where you need that payment relief. Now you can pay towards principal or fall back on interest only when you need to, because if another variant comes out in 2 years from now, do you want to refinance a bridge loan? You got to pay closing costs. Who knows what rates are at that time in an inflationary, environment? So, not a good game plan.
Not a good game plan. Again, doing the work. And the other thing that are really hard, I hear from Matt, the mortgage guy, all the time, is self-employed borrowers. Is that something where non-QM can step up and really be an answer?
Oh, well, again, with all the creative products out there for especially self-employed, borrowers, where a lot of times they're going to write off a lot on their income tax return. So that's what conventional financing utilizes for personal income documentation to be able to qualify. So there's so many self-employed people that would normally have to be forced to use hard money if there was no non-QM. So no, definitely that's our specialty. We're more of a self-employed specialist in a sense, because we don't look at your normal tax returns, pay stubs, or W-2s. That's not required. So that eliminates that kind of hurdle. And again, we're just looking at quality of borrower in the sense of their payment history and credit profile, and then the quality of the collateral. Outside of that, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, again, non-QM lenders are really the answer if you're self-employed. But I just want to make sure that a self-employed borrower cannot buy owner-occupied.
In this particular case, no. With the type of loans that we provide, because the Dodd-Frank is still in existence, we can't apply it to either their primary or secondary home. Only on 1 to 4 unit residential. But you can kind of house hack in the sense of apartment building, like Arnold Schwarzenegger did.
With 6 unit in SoCal.
Lived in one, house hacking, right? Shout out to Arnold.
Good old Terminator.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
that's funny.
Yeah. So again, you can do things of that nature where it's owner occupied in a sense, owner user. Or even in a mixed use where maybe you live in one of the units above, but there's a retail office or yoga studio downstairs or something like that. You can do something like that as well.
Yeah, I just want to make people realize I never want to lead them astray, right? A lot of self-employed people are having a hard time buying homes today for owner occ. Unfortunately, this is not the answer. But if you're a self-employed looking to do investment properties, let's roll.
That's me.
There you go. I like that. Well, do me a favor. How do you want them to reach out? Because I'm assuming there'll be lots of self-employed and other people reaching out to you to have these conversations. How do you want that to happen?
They've been reaching out already. But it's sdow@velocitymortgage.com. It's right below.
And folks, in the description below is his email. And do yourself a favor. We've talked about all the various products that Velocity Mortgage and Stephen offer. There's an entire playlist. I think it's called Non-QM Stephen Dow, I think is what it's called. So check that out. All right, Stephen, thank you very much for your time. Enjoy your week.
Likewise, sir. Appreciate you.